Hi, it's Faceless Tech. I'm here to talk to you about Atomic Purple. This is like I think, probably one of the most iconic Nintendo colours of the transparent that's going. It's kind of been throughout the ages. Everyone's always like tried to really replicate it. You see like these retro handhelds that are atomic coloured, purple coloured. Back in December of last year, someone contacted me and said, "Can you print atomic purple?" And I was like, wait a minute. So I went out looking for all different transparent filaments and stuff. I come back and I was like, no. No one does the exact colour. Everyone does like a really like purpley, just like a really harsh colour. And you kind of forget how this is like an authentic Game Boy Color shell. This is not a remake. This is actually original one. You forget how kind of subtle the purple is. So anyway, my mind for some reason last week was like, right, we're gonna try and make atomic purple. So I had one idea, which was to print a thin layer, single layer of purple, and then put transparency on the front, over the top of it. So if you see there, it is on the bottom is purple, on the top it's transparent. It's pretty awful. It came out really badly. You can see because it's only a single layer. You can see all the gaps in it. It was terrible. Next idea was, I remember seeing a while ago on Hackaday there was an article about printing your own filament. So what I thought the idea was basically you basically print the filament, print it in like a spiral on your print bed. So you can print like, I think it might be 14 grams on a print bed ish. So what you gotta do is build it up in layers. It's made up of 8 layers on my printer. So I printed like 2 layers of, got it here, 2 layers of purple, and then the rest layers transparent, just clear on top. So I thought, feed that into the printer and it should print transparent. Well, this is the transparent purple I got. It's slightly better, I think, than this, but you can see that it is still, you can still see the layer, sort of the lines in there. Just looks a bit sketchy, I think. It's kind of better than this. It is transparent, it is purple. As you can see against this, it is way off. So anyway, I went out looking on the internet, and then I found that you can dye your filament. So wait a minute. I found this stuff, a blog post about using this stuff to dye your PLA filament, and I thought, great, that's let's have a go at that. So I really wanted like a really dilute solution, so I had 900 milliliters of water, which could cover quite a lot of filament, and then I put 1 milliliter of this stuff in, because I think in the blog post it said for a diluted mix it was going to be about 750 milliliters per about 900, but I thought, I'm not sure how diluted they were talking about, so I kind of started at the low end, build up to the high end. So if you want to look at the original, which was this one, which doesn't look that far off. It looks a bit more like Glacier from the GBA series, if you remember that one. Kind of, it's, don't know how good it shows up on camera. That's the only thing. It's in person, it actually looks pretty good. I was like, oh, that's pretty close. You have to, there's a few issues I found. That basically it said to make sure that you basically put this in, you boil it for 5 minutes to kind of like dilute it into the mix, sort of thing. And it said sort of let it cool to about 80 degrees. I put my filament in and it kind of all stuck together, started warping and stuff. So I found if you got down to about 60 degrees, it kind of didn't do that as much. But I think it is mostly to do with the heat with this. The heat will get it in, because if you look on the side of the packet, it says to use on the countertop and keep the heat high. So I think the heat has a lot to do with how it kind of gets into the filament. So basically what you do is like dye. I was thinking of like you using it to dye the actual finished article. You actually use it to dye the actual filament itself, like before you use it. But anyway, that was 1 milliliter for 900 milliliters. And then we went on to, I think this might have been about 3 milliliters per 900 milliliters. But I didn't put it in as hot and didn't put it in as long. And like you can see, it is a lot lighter, which was a bit weird. I was thinking, this is where I kind of worked out. I think it's more to do with the heat and the length of time than the actual stuff you put in it. So anyway, those two bust. I come out, last one. Wait for it. This, I think this is pretty much bang on. It might be slightly darker, I think. But I think I'd rather go with slightly darker than slightly lighter. This was 750 milliliters for 900 milliliters, which was the original blog post recommended. But I put it in for boiled it for 5 minutes, and then let it cool to 60. Put the filament in, put the roll of filament in. I'll just cut off a section of it. Put that in for 30 minutes. Checked it, took it out, heated the liquid back up again, the dye mix, back up to 60 because I think it dropped to about 40, and then I put it in for a further 25 minutes, and it kind of come out like this. And I thought it was pretty good mix, and I'm pretty happy with it. But this kind of opens the door to not just making atomic purple, but also making other colours that you'd want to make. So you could basically dye. You could get white filament, and you could dye it like a Pacific colour that you wanted. This stuff is quite cheap. You get 200 milliliters, and that's about £8.50 off Amazon. I think it is like an American type of stuff because it just comes in fluid ounces. I think it is an American style dye. It's basically for your clothes, synthetics, for basically dyeing your jeans back to black or whatever. So it's quite good stuff. That'll last you a long time. And if you buy like a roll of white filament, you can basically make any other colour that you want. If you want to make a Pacific colour that no one else makes, you can kind of play around with it and dye it, and then it prints well. What you basically do afterwards is just let it dry out. I did put mine in my filament dryer, but I think it was a bit overkill. I think it did actually warp it a bit, but you could probably just leave it for 24 hours and it'll just... I didn't really notice it when I was printing then, any of like popping and cracking that other people had, you know, where they have like water in it, because you know you kind of are like submerging it in water. But I don't think it is that much of a deal, and you basically just sort of cut off as much as you need, well, slightly more than you need, a couple of grams more, and then that's it. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's rant. You're off to the races. I think it's quite I think it's worth sharing with everyone, seeing what everyone thinks, seeing if we can get around this and get some really cool colours. You know, like there's like that transparent pink fuchsia, I think it is called, on the GBA. That's quite a nice colour. You could make that. I'm sure they do this in like a pink. Should be quite good. I might try and get some different colours in the future. But yeah, as usual, I have a blog post with all the timings and stuff, so you can just read that rather than listen to me rambling on about dye. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.